How the mind influences reality. Quantum physics tells us that when energy is entwined with consciousness, we pull from an infinite number of possibilities that are available to us and manifest in our physical reality. We are partly a product of our environment and the experiences we've had in our formative years, but we have the ability to alter any portion of our surroundings and create a new future once we understand how and why the power of our mind is so crucial in doing so. We live in two simultaneous worlds, the invisible world of coherent thoughts and beliefs, our creators, and the seemingly material world of effect where the results or manifestations of our thoughts and beliefs come into being and are experienced. The law of creation is exact and can easily be demonstrated through the invisible idea of a plant within a seed. That idea is within the seed before it is even planted, and that seed will produce only the particular plant which is invisible within it. Both physical scientists and metaphysicians agree that the physical world is in constant change. The more we learn about the inner or invisible world in which man exists, we realize that this invisible world is infinite. Man, who is in the image and likeness of the infinite intelligent power, is also infinite and has available to him an ever-expanding intelligence. Through the law of creation, man can project an idea into the mind and have that idea come into manifestation. With this knowledge, we can take control and start to shape our life and reality from a creative consciousness paradigm. Once fully understood, we can shed ourselves of our old paradigms of reality that constrain us and accelerate the ushering in of a new reality which empowers and creates a basis for total wellness. We must take our own unfoldment in our hands and give conscious direction to the evolutionary forces within us. From the perspective of quantum physics, the universe is made up entirely of energy. The science also states that all things are interconnected, interdependent, and essentially one or unified. The energy exists in two forms, either in particle having form or as wave unformed or empty of form. Particles can be seen and observed at points in time and space and are the basis for the objects that we perceive in the universe, or they establish reality we are used to living and moving through. Waveform energy includes anything related to thoughts, sounds, mind images, and feelings. Uniquely, we humans possess those states of energy and our makeup and so have an inner waveform energy world and life. This wave energy flows in and between a perceived particle-based body, which is the boundary that most believe is where we start and end. In other words, the perception for many is that the physical body is the self. This gives rise to the mistake that the physical component is all that we are, which often leads to separation consciousness where we think I and not we and start to think of everything outside of this I as the objective and not our concern unless it suits us. The truth is that the embodied reality we call I gives us our definition of time and space, the mind gives us time, and the body gives us object space. From this limited perceived law of attraction to attract, create, manifest particle form, the physical body of the self, we become a reality with a self-imagined point in time and space. Man created time as a concept because our embodied reality puts us in a time-space continuum or past, present, and future can be measured, and we see ourselves progressing in a linear fashion down a path of time. However, some theories in quantum physics state that what we really do is keep choosing one single possible storyline each moment in time, whereas there are infinite choices in every moment that we can choose from, and each choice we make then opens up the next unlimited set of possibilities for the next moment. From the field of neuroscience, we know that our brain operates from imagery, sounds, smells, tastes, and touch that are processed through electrical signals. The gray, dark area of the brain organ does not have any physical contact with what is considered external stimuli. It is a translator of our perception and cognition of objects. The apparatus gives rise to feelings and emotions, We then think of our life as operating in a constant loop where we take in our reality from out there via all our senses and awareness, and then process it via the mental consciousness procedure, which uses our nervous systems and brain neural circuitry. These, in turn, produce feelings which are effects of cellular biochemical reactions and pathways running in our body. Our brains do not confront the original matter on a physical level, but rather produce an electrical copy of it formed inside this organ. In other words, the external world is inside of our brains. These physical facts bring us to the conclusion that everything we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch are simply electrical signals within our brain that are interpreted. Therefore, the things interpreted are a part of us. They are produced within the brain, which is encased within the body. You are not in the world you perceive yourself to be in, rather, the world is inside of you. Your body, or the I that you recognize to be you, the body you know yourself to be in, is also an image form that is rendered within your brain. The only reality that any one of us experiences is the world of perception within our minds and, consequently, our feelings. States this is why you may hear that the world is a mirror or reflection of who and what you are. It originates and lives internally within you and is interpreted by the brain within you. However, you are not your brain. The brain is operated by something much larger. This organ is merely a means of translation of experiences, your consciousness or your conscious mind experiencing the translation of the brain as mirrored back to you. What this means is the mind can take control. It has the ability to shape the brain's wiring. This tool, the brain, is meant to be used by the mind, not the other way around. Unfortunately, many become stuck in allowing the brain to run on its default programming rather than giving it new programs to bring about new translations or manifestations. When the mind finds its true power, the result is motivation, inspiration, expression, healing, discovery, personal growth, and deliberate creation. The brain and its purely primal function are incapable of such things. It is simply a machine or, as previously stated, a tool to be utilized in a purposeful manner. When properly employed, it is a servant and not the master. That being said, it has the capability of bringing you every experience you have ever dreamed of. Although this concept may be difficult for many to understand, the science behind it is factual. No one experiences reality in the same manner that you do because you create it internally. With this knowledge, it may become easier to understand how you have the ability to consciously alter the brain to generate what you choose to now perceive. You can create new neural pathways and, therefore, new electrical signals that will furnish you with a new translation or what you know as your physical reality. Rewiring your brain is critical in creating what you desire. Following are several ways to do this. Number 1. Go outside of your normal routine. According to scientific research, we each have about 60,000 thoughts per day. That's equivalent to one thought for every 1 to 2 seconds during every waking hour. What's even more interesting is that of those 60,000 thoughts, 95% are the same thoughts you had yesterday and the day before, and the day before that. Your mind is like a record player playing the same record over and over again. In this manner, it is nearly impossible to create a deviation from your current reality. One way to alter the record that is on repeat within the brain is to go outside of your normal routine whenever possible. Law of attraction: attract, create, manifest by doing something new. Our brain circuits respond by stretching our neuroplasticity and activating new pathways. What this means is the brain forms and reorganizes new connections in response to new experiences. When we do this often enough, neurons in our brain are reinforced, making stronger connections and creating new electrical signals that have the ability to translate new experiences in our reality. This gives the brain more options to work with for future manifestations. Push yourself to take risks. With some research, you may easily discover that people who are successful in accomplishing their desires do this often. They stretch themselves whenever possible. Do something out of your comfort zone, go out of your routine, see through the eyes of someone else, or lean into something that challenges you. By opening yourself to new things, a new you emerges in the contrast of the ordinary. When you change, your brain changes, and therefore your reality will change too. Number 2. To dream yourself into a new reality, visualizing and daydreaming have a large impact on our brain. The brain doesn't know the difference between what's being played out in the external and internal world. Accordingly, internal transformation changes our outer reality. As previously mentioned, the outer world is merely a mirror of what's happening internally within the brain. This means you can literally dream yourself into a new reality by rewiring your brain. By visualizing and mentally stimulating your mind to embed new signals into your cells and circuitry, you can effect change. A scientific study was performed with 2 groups learning a new piano exercise. Group A learned one-handed exercises with chords and scales. Brain scans showed new areas were activated after the exercises. They created a new habit, and new circuits were created. Group B was asked to only visualize and mentally play the chords and scales. The brain scan results found that the identical areas of the brain were being activated, and identical connections were being made as the group who physically demonstrated the exercise. These same outcomes have also been proven in research with athletes who were split into groups to analyze the potential physical performance versus mental performance. Consequently, this demonstrates that the brain cannot tell the difference between something imagined and something experienced from a physical point of view. Once again, the brain is merely the translator of the experience. It will send the same electrical signals to the body when visualization is implemented as it will when experiencing the same thing from a physical level. Number 3. Tell yourself the best feeling story available. Telling yourself the best feeling stories about all your life circumstances will, over time, build and cement new, improved beliefs. This reforms your habitual neural network of thought and creates new electrical signals. The quantum field or the holographic world that you perceive, the brain is responding to your beliefs and the expectations that those beliefs invoke. It delivers their equivalent back to you to create your physical reality. Therefore, improving your beliefs will always be your key long-term to more fully realizing your dreams and goals. Repetition and heightened feeling states are of utmost importance. By tricking the brain into feeling that the reality you choose is already so, it will go to work to match that for you. This is an example of the line overriding the brain and can be accomplished by feeling how it would feel to already have what you desire, or you may produce an intense positive feeling state by recalling something from your past. If this doesn't work for you, imagine a person that already has what you want and how it must feel to be them. With enough time and consistent practice, the brain will believe that the new reality is already so and respond to the new beliefs by manifesting the matching electrical circuits for a new perceived material reality. Extensive studies show that when you decide to change your mind in a determined fashion, you cause physical changes to your brain. It has also been scientifically shown that the brain is structurally altered by changes in your behavior patterns. You can make this a conscious process where shifts in your thoughts, attitude, and beliefs rewire current problematic areas. You can conquer toxic thinking patterns and old limiting beliefs with conscious changes in your views, having new visions, imploring feelings of your choosing, and stretching yourself whenever possible. You get to consciously choose what you will create or change. With enough time and effort, you can immerse your consciousness into any reality you desire. But before you can enact this immense power, you must decide which action you will take. You must make a choice on which reality you want to observe at the cost of becoming blind to all other options. Select your new reality and add momentum to that observed choice with the waveform energy within you, thoughts, mental images, and feelings. The particle energy around you will begin to blur and shift as you pull yourself deeper into your new reality and consciously pursue this new existence. The options you didn't select will fade out of thought, out of observation, and begin to experience in a lack of quantum likelihood because the brain is creating new circuitry for the new experiences of your choosing. Anything we're not actively perceiving does not truly exist. This is the approach of the "live in the now" movement, which is largely rooted in Eastern philosophies. The realization of this methodology is that you can only perceive one place at one moment, and therefore anything outside of that single image of space-time doesn't truly exist. Knowing this, then there becomes no reason to let your mind dwell and concern itself with realities you can't actually prove. Real reality is that in that moment, have absolutely no impact on your life, and so the only option is to immerse yourself completely into the current sensation that you can prove through your own individual experience. This is the power you have in every moment, to see all the possible outcomes available to you and then connect consciously and purposely with the one that seems most desirable. We are each in a theater of our own creation, continually writing the scripts and decorating the stage with our focus. Remember this when you feel trapped within the illusion of a job, a relationship, a living situation, or any other label. If something in your life has become a source of pain or discomfort for you, you have the power to change it. All you have to do is choose a different reality. I hope you liked this video. Subscribe for more such videos. Thanks for watching.